Welcome back to Occultists Anonymous. This is episode 115. The one after Zolius got the fuck out. As always, we are sponsored by Roll20, the Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you very much to our supporters across the board, out on YouTube, out there on Twitch, in podcast land, and a couple of you who are hanging out on Twitter and just listening to me rant and rave and mostly post about our videos. But a special shout out to our patrons who support us monetarily so that we can buy upgrades, fix some stuff up, and get to do some extra stuff. Is it good? It's really good. Podcast guys, you missed a face from Chris. So yes, a shout out to all our patrons. Sorry, Patreon is taking its time here. That is not alphabetical Patreon. That's just rolling. We're back. Don't worry. So yes, thank you to Al, Alan, Michael, Alex, Alexander, Algos, Badur, Ernie, Brandon, Danny, Doc, Emil, Giovanni, Jack, James, Jenny, John, Josh, Julian, Catfeathers, Melissa, Michael, Moku, Noba, One True Michael, Perry, Puppeteer, Roviscrat, Ryan, Schmitty, Sebastian, Seth, Cinna, Stefan, Seranus, Terry, the Banty, Thomas, Tremere Ritual Gone Wrong, Usuf Samana, Firekeeper, and Zoltan. Hey, Noctal, you got to keep them under 10 characters if they get caught off. Thank you guys for your support and continual trolling in our Patreon.
I just got to say, I admire the dedication because he changes it every week.
Every week.
Sometimes in between episodes. Just to drive me bonkers. It's all right. You don't have us memorized yet. Believe it or not, I actually do have you guys memorized. If I think about it, I can probably go through most of you who've been around a little bit long. Thank you for not changing your name so I can memorize Octal. So when we last left the Cabal, they chased Mammon out of the Rookery Sanctum after agreeing that, we will kill your boss and Graves. Graves, we owe him one, and killing the boss, well, you're going to give us a little quid pro quo, and give us the information about the grimoire that we seek. As
joke's on him, I'd kill these guys for free.
Sure.
Yeah, we'd do this for free.
And then, of course, and the main thing that he's paying you for is the not leading it back to him and, not throwing him under the bus after you kill them. So we pick up as Weird is finishing scrubbing the place of connections to Tilly and to Zolius. Network, actually, hang on. Let me double check. Does he actually have enough space for that yet? Can't remember if Network can help.
I don't think so.
Yes, he can, because he is a Gregor. If, Weird is actually taking more than a single instant action to do so. Probably not, because when you're in your domain, everything happens instantly because domains. So current plans on the docket.
This is maybe a little bit more out of character, but we probably should have done this sometime in the last, year of me wanting to do this. But is there a long-term project, set of successes or different roles I can start making or whatever, of little scenes of preps and different things, and are you getting favors from people or going out and hunting some materials or something for my creation?
If there's not a system, there should be, but in my head, basically more or less it's doors, just not applied to a person, but to an ongoing project. I dig that. I might go dig into Scion, because Scion has something similar actually for crafting, where everything is different milestones. But yeah, in your case,
is a good term for it. This particular maybe first action or whatever is maybe a scene of talking over a potential summoning diagram to to try and incorporate getting 2 at once.
Oh, in the same like safe space?
Well, like instead of just being like, okay, you stand here and you stand here, like having it be interwoven and.
Yeah, actually, I think that's actually kind of cool. I was going to say, yeah, sure, you can just do that, but yeah, it actually is more fun to.
Because the idea is that both of these entities that I summon will channel their power through me. So having an arcane funnel in the summoning space is probably pretty central to the idea of the grand scheme.
Yeah. Personally, there's no rules that say you can't totally just summon them in the same place, but doing the research and actually in character going, yes, okay, we have figured this out. Yeah, I dig that. Calling it Hadramiel and being like, okay, step 1, let's figure this thing out. But yeah, I think that's definitely going to be like very likely like day-long, well, potentially day-long research project. And I think that's just going to be Prime plus Occult.
Okay. And this is maybe like...
You know what? We're going to flip that. We're going to use Gnosis plus Occult. And go ahead. What were you saying?
This is probably like the next day, so we don't have to like necessarily,
Sure.
Time is wibbly wobbly now that Weird's got 3 dots, right?
Weird has 3 dots in time. What is time? Time is in a an abstract concept.
I'm gonna spend the willpower on it.
Cool.
And roll 8 dice.
It's nice being able to laugh at the arrow of time.
Whoops. That's not right.
That's a Craig roll. We have some extra stuff in there.
Shut up!
I didn't realize I'd actually done a sheet roll, and then I just went to add my whole. Okay. 3 successes.
Sure. Oh man, that's right. I forgot you have so little occult. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, you and Hadramiel, and I think enough. Hadramiel basically is more or less a resource. Knowing Hadramiel's mind, because I made him, he like, and especially from the Silver Ladder and Obrimo sides, like you do not get between a mage and their obsession. Like, don't try and steer it. Don't try and co-opt what they're working on. Any kind of help is always going to be a let me give you a hand if you want it,
sure.
Kind of thing. But yeah, I think
there's also, at least how I have interpreted and like been envisioning the relationship, is it's very much Songbird knowing that Hadramiel's legacy has something to do with supernals. And like using that as bait, like knowing whatever weird shit I get up to, you're getting something out of it.
Right.
And like very much like, not quite like quid pro quo, but like there's something along those lines.
Right.
Like it's not just like Songbird going, hey, will you help me with this? It's no, you're going to, because you're getting something out of it.
That's one of the reasons that you guys, you had the provost and counselor position, obviously, like, especially when it started, it was like, hey, now I have an inside the adamantine arrow. And, somebody also involved in the council to help me.
So fucking good.
But yeah, it's evolved beyond that. And like you said, yeah, once you kind of reveal what your obsession is. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of layers to our relationship. Like we're very much, I think we're at this point, we're also friends and like friends and like a little bit of a mentor thing going on. And like, it's.
Oh yeah, no, it's a very Socrates and whoever the fuck it was. Aristotle?
Plato?
One of them.
Plato. I'm Plato. This works. Fun fact. Plato is not his name.
Yep.
It's like more along the lines of a nickname. And it's also the one he used to wrestle when he won gold medals in the Olympics. And it just means broad. And it really was just like, hey, that guy's going to argue some philosophy at you and then probably suplex you if you disagree with him. And can't back it up.
Meanwhile, Socrates is just an asshole and keeps asking people questions over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Oh, it's the Socratic method. No, fuck off. I asked you a question. Give me an answer.
To be fair, a lot of people have co-opted the Socratic method into other things, but
sure. Yeah. But and it very much is that. And, let's be honest with the whole you don't summon angels normally the same way. I'm sure there's a lot of late night philosophical bullshit arguments. But yeah. Start tracking. I'm gonna work out a project kind of thing, but yeah, we'll mark that one down as a project success check mark, and I'll come up with we'll come up with a set of things that Songbird needs to do before I ascend or die.
Oh, you spoiled it.
I mean, I think you've said this before.
I've not said it on stream. It's okay. Songbird's got goals, y'all.
Yeah, I know, dude. I played Assassin's Creed. Good game. Cool. So Songbird is working on that. The following day. What about the rest of you?
I want to subtly work on another door with Moonkeeper.
Cool. What are you? What dice pool are you throwing at this time? No need to. I was just saying, because this could be literally anything. It doesn't necessarily need to be social stuff. This could be, showing up and you could literally do intelligence plus politics as an example, and be like, I'm going to fix this problem for you.
I still want to base it around subterfuge so that he's not aware that I'm doing that. I want it to be his ideas, sort of where I'm coming at it from. So I still think subterfuge would be a factor in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and bear in mind, I set the doors based on the fact that you were doing this without him realizing.
Sure.
You do not need to necessarily lean on the subterfuge. I've already baked that into the number of doors.
So how would I approach it? I kind of know what I want to do, but how to spin that into a story thing. What? Laughing at me?
Twitch chat.
Laughing at chat.
Twitch chat. I only want the original 151 Spurnals. Good reference.
So I'm going to try and not direct this at Moonkeeper directly, but folks around Moonkeeper. I'm going to, because there's a circle that adamantine arrow that we've met that hangs around with Moonkeeper, right? So I'm going to try and subtly backdoor that with some wits and subterfuge to get some other folks to help out Moonkeeper on things that he's working on.
Sure.
Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So wits and subterfuge?
Yep. It's one of the things I like about doors. So long as you can spin it, you can throw just about whatever you want at it.
Sure.
Same with chases.
What's that?
It's the same thing with chases. Mm-hmm. It's one of the reasons why next Chronicle will change up to 4 successes. We will change up to our
space.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Door updated. Cool. So you know that you've knocked down 2 doors of X.
Sure. Yeah, you'll let me know.
This whole subtle approach to opening doors is really such a waste of time.
Yes, you can always just go and kick the doors down, and
you can do it in 3 seconds. It's fine.
I'm sure there will absolutely be no problem with that when you use a magical spell to make a counselor your buddy.
Yeah.
No, it's to convince them that it's the right thing to do.
But I don't want it to be directly associated with me. I want to be behind the scenes to support you guys.
Just giving you shit.
Yeah, I know. The intent is to support you guys and your political aspirations behind the scenes without overt power plays. Besides, subterfuge is kind of...
do we really have political aspirations?
I mean...
I'm not trying to be like...
my long-term
in
aspiration
charge
is
of the Consilium.
My long-term aspiration is... I'm going to raise my hand. My long-term aspiration is consolidate power in the Consilium.
And, Atratus isn't trying to take over the Consilium, but, I mean, you have some goals, and you want to change the Consilium.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make mages less self-centered.
Mage.
As impossible as that is, yeah.
I mean, bring down the Exarchs, or make mages less mage. Shit, I don't know. Exarchs might be easier here.
Yeah. And having a hidden hand in the Consilium would allow me to assist you in that.
You basically, probably use a little fake magic here and there and go, who needs a little nudge, and just kind of talk with them and mention something, this here and that. Probably even stuff that, Weird is not aware of, but Fate says, hey, yeah, so-and-so just needs a little...
Exactly.
Yeah. It is one of the devious things about Fate is most of the spells can be cast on just the mage, because once they know or are following directions. So, and what is Atratus up to either that evening or the following day?
Maybe the next day. I want to call up Shanna and get spirit studies.
Mm-hmm.
Just to work on magic somewhat. I think I'm going to go ahead and take Spirit 2.
Cool.
So that I can meet up with her and then go into the shadow.
Cool.
With her as like a guide.
Sure. And what about our good friends Network and Rose? Is it a Rookery, field trip, or is Atratus going, nah, it's just gonna be me and Shanna hanging out like the old times?
Oh, this is more just like a personal thing. I want to go exploring.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
But I'm not completely stupid. I don't just want to go do it by myself. So.
Yeah. Not Songbird.
Turn.
Take my second thought of spirit.
Noctul said turn the Consilium into a Procilium.
I'm going to ban him.
Terrible.
I'm just going to ban him. Everything will be so much easier.
No chat privileges for the next week.
But yeah, that's cool. I think on the phone, she's like, yeah, traipsing into the shadow. That's like,
I'm not going physically. You don't have to either if you don't want to.
Excuse me, what?
I have mind.
Okay.
We can
she doesn't
astral
understand
project into the shadow. Yeah.
Like the long, like you hear the head scratch. Excuse me, what?
Yeah, like send your consciousness elsewhere. We can do that. Our bodies will be like here sleeping. And yeah, you know what astral projection is, right?
Yes, sweetie.
Yes, it's that, but into the shadow.
Why is nobody? Okay, no, actually, I know why nobody suggested this before. I'm in. I'm gonna bring something. Just as a focusing agent. Sure. And so, Shanna comes over because it's not like she's got a damn sanctum anywhere. Brings her backpack of tools and supplies and stuff like that, and you guys get comfortable in the summoning room, I imagine. And Titus goes downstairs and goes, "Yep, making snacks." I'm not even. Well, actually, let's go ahead and have you. Well, no, screw it.
It's
We've
a
already
spell.
got. Yep, go for it.
Where'd it go? It is Mind 4. It might not work.
Why not? You're in a domain.
We just keep trying, yeah.
More or less.
Casting a spell isn't any harder the more dots it is.
I know, which is like the best thing.
You just have less reach, but you're in a domain, so.
And yes,
So it
right, Real,
doesn't super
everybody
matter.
has seen Doctor Strange, except for
I
Songbird.
haven't.
But you haven't seen Doctor Strange? Ash. It's literally the best Marvel movie so far. And I say
It
that
is the
like,
best.
I mean, in Ragnarok.
All right. At least you know what first place it actually is.
Hey, 14 dice, 1 success. That's a classic Rookery roll.
It's all balanced in the end.
But we take those.
Only need the one.
I mean, after all, she got the 10 successes on 11 dice earlier. So, yeah, you guys have a bit of time meditating. There are absolutely no giggles coming from the summoning room. And yes, you guys throw yourselves, your consciousness across the gauntlet. Do you give her a heads up of what happens if her astral form is shook up on the other side? Or actually, does Atratus have any idea of what would happen?
Probably not, because no one taught me to do this. I just knew I could do. I've never done this before.
Sure.
I've
So,
also
Just sort
never
of
been
figured it
hurt in dream form.
That's true.
yeah.
So you guys step across the gauntlet into the shadow version of the Rookery, which on this side looks like a straight up like Viking fortress. Like the building is still there. But there are some pennants staked into, corners flapping. There are like heavy reinforcements.
Are there crow spirits hanging around in the battlements?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Crow Raven, that's not even just a weird thing. That's a Rookery thing.
Rookery.
Yeah.
birds,
Exactly.
yeah.
There are
Birds.
many a bird spirit that are hanging out and about. Most of them look to be literally just, bird spirits hanging about.
At this point, there's probably a lot of birds around our building too.
Mhm.
Like more than usual.
Yeah. In my head, once, because you guys aren't going to hang out inside the Rookery because it's empty and devoid of spirits.
Yeah, we're gonna go for a walk.
Right. And outside you have, like I said, Viking Fortress. In my head, you have the slightly ominous circling spire of birds that just on thermals just above. And out here in the shadow, you and Shanna kind of have a little look up and go, you have certainly left a mark on the shadow.
Apparently.
And I mean, when you talk about the sheer amount of resonance and just oomph that you guys have and the fact that there is a hallow here, Shanna kind of looks left, looks right, up and down the street, and you can see, a twisted, version of, our world. It's the twisted, our world, twisted up, Chronicles of Darkness style, and then we jump into the shadow. It is, especially due to your guys's workings, and especially Network, who has 2 dots in spirit himself, is working on just little nudges of resonance here and there to try and keep this area clean. Rose is now joining in with that. 2 life, 1 spirit. So she's probably more going along for the ride, not really necessarily pushing stuff, but have actively worked in areas. But as you guys are making your way down the streets, it's actually pretty easy to spot Mammon strongholds. The residences and spirits that accumulate in those places are a little bit different. Walking by where you had done your first spirit summoning the old-fashioned way, you have parks and stuff like that, which are a little bit more upbeat. And we've talked about this before, at least on Discord, about like, yes, happiness spirits are absolutely terrific, except for when they hang out with a bunch of drug addicts and encourage them, go get your next fix, that'll make you happy. That is not a good thing. Any spirit can get things to run off the rails. Spirits of community can get, seriously fucked up too if they become insular and stuff like that. But yeah, they're in Mammon territory. They're, big, fat, slob, greed spirits, or spirits of desperation and, sheer survival, driven by, some of the, rougher parts of town, some of the, apartment complexes that are run by not great people, things of that nature.
Lords.
Yeah. I don't know that the lower Manhattan necessarily gets into slumlord territory, but yeah. You guys kind of make a, walk of the place. And for the most part, the spirits acknowledge you, but it is you have had no interest in exploration of the shadow previously. Shanna makes the comment of, they don't know what to do with us. Like, we're not, interesting. And she kind of looks down at herself, and of course, because Atratus in spirit ephemeral Goche form looks more or less like yourself, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah. Shanna
just goth turned to 11.
Right. Got the jacket back.
Hair is actually crow feathers.
Nice. Shanna looks like Shanna from the comic. Full on, body paint, if I remember correctly, like loincloth.
Like leopard.
Yeah, basically.
Leopard.
Yeah.
Wearing a couple of skins and nothing else.
Right.
Her cat would probably be here too, right?
Oh yeah, her familiar? Yeah. Probably not actually, because that would be crossing the gauntlet, and that would be another thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so her cat is
So
probably
it's
literally
still in our twilight by itself.
well, probably curled up in Shanna's lap and like, you guys are going on a trip? Fine, I'm gonna okay. Cool. See you when you get back. Kind of situation. Because she has a small cat, right? Not big cat.
No, big cat.
Okay.
It's like a leopard.
That's right. So yes, there is a big kitty across two laps. I think so. Somewhere network is like, I'm gonna go check in. Never mind. They're fine. There's a big cat in there. I'm just gonna leave it. But yeah, so you guys kind of make your way through downtown. Through down to Wall Street, and for the most part, Shanna, once she gets past the fact that the spirits are like, she was anticipating and prepped for like having to ward some guys off and have to get big and scary. Every spirit that you see kind of looks at you curiously and just kind of gives you a wide berth.
Is it because we're here, like, but not really here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Like they
can see us, but they don't know what's really up.
Right. Yeah. Because you are astral projections of yourselves, and notably, like in my head, this is as close to a spirit form as humans would normally have. Because you're not here as like physical cells, which they are used to seeing, because they're used to seeing humans on the other side of the gauntlet. You are here and you don't look like any spirit. Like, you look like a spirit of Atratus, which is far different from a human here physically, or even a werewolf coming across. And so they're just like, nah, we're good. Like, you're not messing with us, we're not messing with you. We don't care. And giving you space. But as you guys are kind of, like I said, kind of patrolling more or less, I imagine Shanna was like, yeah, let's just walk your territory. Let's see what's here.
I want to go to the normal places I go to and see what it looks like here.
Right. And there's some weird spots where, like, oh, hang on, this, alleyway is, we're not going down that way because it is bad. Some of the places where Tassus's herd hang out, probably not the best places that are just like reeking with spirits of addiction and dependency and stuff like that. And it's like, yep. And I think Shanna and you have a long look at like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. But make your way through. You got to come to grips with that. But as you are kind of patrolling through, Shanna kind of like tilts and kind of looks, and just it's a sheer like familiarity in the shadow. And you kind of follow her gaze, and you can see there are a lot of spirits that are. It's kind of go like with wildebeest stampede kind of behavior of just hauling ass away. And most spirits, everybody's got kind of their like personal space bubble. Nobody's getting close to each other, because at the end of the day, all spirits, in even the prey ones, are predators in the fact that they will feed off of each other. Even a rabbit spirit will eat another rabbit spirit if they have the opportunity. But everybody is just booking it, and then you hear a howl. And just barreling full charge on 4 legs is an enormous wolf. Wolf with a capital W and some air quotes. Just full bore, because we've all seen good looking wolves. This is a good looking wolf. This is like the majestic, huge, black furred, like German timber wolf thing. XL. Hauling ass.
Big bad wolf.
Yeah. Hauling ass, just howling. Like, not in any kind of sense of pain or anything like that. Just making a lot of noise. And then basically, is coming around and just doesn't quite skid to a stop, just goes from full speed lope to like a slow trot and then a slow walk at, shoulders kind of drop a little bit lower and kind of looking at the two of you back and forth. And again, you have seen wolves before. The eyes on this werewolf. Oh my gosh, I've spoiled it. It's a werewolf. Far more intelligent. And you have seen Logan in his like I kill shit form. I don't think at this point, well, potentially you have seen this particular form of werewolf, just because it's
is this the not fully wolf one, the one that's like in between?
Yeah, Urshel.
It's real cool.
It's right now it's fucking terrifying. Because it looks from across the two of you and like starts to circle you. But at a good 100 yards away, it's down a street and kind of moving, and it kind of ducks behind building.
We're being stalked.
Well, as it like is moving, there's another howl from it. It sounds different than the others, and it is answered by 3 or 4 more in the area.
Actively hunted.
Can I do a quick mental scan on the one I saw?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Just to see, like, I don't know this one. Do I? This is a stranger? Because if it was one of our werewolves, wouldn't I be able to, like, I guess, recognize?
Right. No, I get where you're coming from. I'm trying to think of
their brains, I guess.
Well, A, their composure, and B, if in this form they would have any kind of resistance or addition. No, I don't think they would. Yeah. And or whether or not you needed.
Looking at my werewolf character sheet here. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think. Well, actually, yeah. Let's go ahead and just ask some questions off of mental scan. Or are you just like picking up what the? Are you just listening to surface thoughts?
I was just trying to get like a surface level reading of, is there any familiarity here? Like looking at the thoughts, do I recognize them?
I would say that I'll give you a 1-2 punch here. You don't recognize the thoughts, which it basically means, okay, I haven't mentally scanned somebody, this person before, which I don't know how much Atratus necessarily has gone around to like rescue one and scanned everybody's thoughts, though. No. Let's be honest, with her attainment, she could.
I could. I'm just trying to see like if service level thoughts running through there are these. They're not friendly, are they?
Getting us to the second thought, which is the actual kind of pronounced thing. You're not, like I said, this is mental scans, so it's not raw telepathy. So you're not getting the exact stuff, but you have these ripples of unidentified entity.
Intruder.
Letting everybody know.
Intruders.
Not intruder.
Okay.
And so basically something new here, letting the pack know as it kind of moves, and you watch it kind of ducking behind buildings and just in a blur. Like it's cartoon Scooby-Doo level of you watch its head pass behind a building and its tail is still here and its head is appearing over around the other side of the building as it just seems to blur across distance as you hear 3 more howls coming from the area and are moving closer. Shanna looks over and says, "Are we good now? Or are you want to just, are we just going to talk with the werewolves?"
I mean, if they're willing to talk.
Yeah, okay, honey. Like, readies the spear. And, like, Shanna...
we can just leave whenever we need to.
Sure, yep.
So...
If everything goes right, absolutely we can.
You don't have to make it back to the Rookery, right? You can just pop up where you are.
We can drop the spell.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But bear in mind, of course, she is not in control of the spell. She's just along for the ride until you are done. And she has there's a look back, and she's like, and like there's that whole mental of like, what is your vice again?
Yeah.
So the big one. No, the big one. The large black one.
The one.
Yeah. Is moving about and then just kind of suddenly kind of settles. Not like in a sit, but just like no, I'm good right here. And Shanna goes, okay. And immediately it's like, if that one is staying there invisible, where's the other ones? And she's like, okay, there's 2, and you just manage to see like dark kind of tawny brown tail just move past the building. She's like, okay, 2, 3. Yep. Okay, where's the 4th one? And because you've definitely heard 4 distinct different howls.
Yes.
And the 4th one approaches you as a help me out here, Chris. Flip side on the human side.
Dalu,
thank you.
Big old beefy boy.
Yeah, big old beefy woman. Right, and
BOI is a gender neutral term.
And looks like actually I think you watch her shift, and so this like kind of gray brown, kind of dappled wolf just shifting up and just smoothly moving from
Urshel into Dalu, standing up and looking at you. And there's not outright aggression, just a little bit of curiosity and wariness, and barks out at you in the first tongue. And Shanna goes, "Cool, you translate that one?"
I can. I'm going to cast Universal Language.
Snappy, please.
All right.
I love Panic Shanna. It's great.
Let's see. I need to do where to go. Find it again.
It's amazing to me that Shanna's just now getting to see this side of Atratus, because like we live with this all the time. No, you can't take it home. No, it's not a pet.
No, I lost it. Here. Okay, I need to do it instantly. I need scale.
Mm-hmm.
It's a duration spell, so yeah. Okay. I'm overreaching by 1.
Yes.
What dot is the spell?
3 dot.
It's 2, or it's 3 dot spell, yeah. So I've got 2. I need 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yantras. Oh shit, what Yantras do I have here, actually?
What you carried with you, so probably not much.
I mean, physically, I don't. Yeah, I've got a shadow name. I've got.
Well,
I can do high speech.
Depends on how this works, because when you're in dream form in the Temenos or Neros or whatever,
it's because you're in Neros and the Temenos, yeah.
Sure.
So what stuff you might think dream form Atratus is wearing? But yeah, things like high speech, shadow name. What was the other one? That was concentration. You know, yeah.
I can get 5
Probably pick up an
bonus.
environmental from the area. If you need it.
There might be one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let us roll some paradox. Are you spending mana?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just make that
It'll
chance
be
die.
2. Yeah.
It would be 2, and so you spend 2 to make a chance die. Don't need any penalties because you're doing advanced scale. So yeah, so it's 8, 13 dice. And how many what yantras are you using?
Yeah, I was using shadow name, high speech, and I was going to use the soul stone because again, my shadow self is just wearing my stuff.
Sure.
I've got
I'm
my
okay with
bag
that.
with my tools and.
Okay. So you take 18 seconds to cast a spell during which Shanna is looking like, "Are you kidding me right now?" Like, quick. The Dalu form woman, slows down, pauses, kind of stops, head tilt with that very, what is that? Because like I spoke in high speed or in first tongue, you're spitting this out.
And I'm speaking in high speech.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, and she add again some first tongue, and I think that's kind of classic movie style. Right in the middle of her sentences, when you're starting to pick it up, and Shanna's eyes pop up, and she's like, "Oh, thank God!" And yeah, the Dalu form is basically, "What spirits are you? What I think what choir do you belong to? What category of spirit are you?"
We're not.
That does not add comprehension to this face. and like there's a little quick twitch of her head, and you can watch that large first wolf kind of moving up the alleyway. Okay. As she kind of moves in closer to. No spirit. Nostrils flare. No Ratha. Like waiting for an answer, waiting for, some explanation.
We're visiting.
Not helping me. And you watch as she draws like this, like looks very ornamental kind of dagger, but definitely not merely ornamental, from behind her back, and just kind of moves in a very like knife fighting stance, one bare hand forward to like grab at somebody, and Shanna's like, okay, seriously, no, we're human.
Yeah, we're
Which
humans.
makes her like draw back and go, bullshit.
No, we're humans.
Not looking like that.
We're not
Shanna's
physically here. Do you know what astral projection is, right?
And like very clearly a what? Well, actually no, because I guess you're speaking in English.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, sort of hippie bullshit. No shamans smoked their way into the shadow before.
Well, we did. Where are you from?
I like how purposely infuriating Atratus is being.
Yes.
Man, I really wish mages would stop being so mage around here. Goes full mage.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like bring them back to my house and tell them where I'm from.
Sure.
Until I know who they are.
Right. And they're, of course, thinking the same thing. But when you ask, where are you from, she barks and she's like, no, we're asking the questions here. You're in our house.
It's fair.
Yeah. We're mages.
And immediately
is a thing we can do.
Yeah, immediately she takes like 3 steps back and makes like some kind of motion over herself, like she wards herself.
Crosses herself.
She's like, shit. Okay. What do mages want around here? And like there is like some growling yip kind of sounds from the other werewolves, which universal language, because they're speaking in first tongue, goes, whoa, hang on, we're not messing with this. And another one's like, we should put them down. Another's like, no, we gotta go.
Again, we're visiting.
The Shadow or New York?
The Shadow. Are you visiting New York?
We didn't say we were visiting. How about, and like looks over to that large black wolf who kind of gives a big head nod and says, you all continue on your way and we'll continue on our way and everybody's good. We're not here to mess with some sorcerers. If you're just visiting, you know what? That's fine. We're just not going to get in your way. And it's like,
I do want to know, like,
Do they know about Rescue One?
yeah, are you from around here?
And like there's some mouth movements of no, you're not. I'm just, and she just like, and then it just comes down to just a head shake, and just like, nah, dude, we're not talking. You don't need to know anything about us. We're not. No.
I'm going to be nice. I'm just curious.
There is a chuckle from Shanna. She's like, shit, no shit. So are we in agreement? You all continue on your visit through the shadow, and we'll just continue our. Yeah.
Where are you going?
We're nowhere to have away from mages.
In my head, this is like there's a snarling dog, and Atratus keeps on going boop. Boop.
I'm just curious because I do know local werewolves.
I think
you aren't them.
From behind you, that large kind of red one. I keep saying large one, like they're not all large.
They're all large, yeah.
They're all enormous.
I mean, there is a merit for like one of your forms to have to be bigger
Additional
and
size,
more intimidating and have
yeah. But they're all standard side Urshel. But one of them says, "Yep,
standard.
Yep, we need to. Yep, got to put it down. Rip the thread up. Got to put it down." And like, there's a couple little affirmatives from the other wolves, probably not realizing that you can understand them. And the Dalu.
I'm just gonna tell them that. I was like, I can hear you, right?
And like the Dalu form woman said, "We're not starting any shit. We're all good here." Like voice carrying a little bit of command to the voice. Just ladies, be on your way, have a good time, and we will continue our way. And like she snarls something. Well, snarls something. All right, move out in first tongue again. There's some growls of like no, fuck no, but there's enough command that you can watch them start to move along, and like no one's getting anywhere closer to you guys as they kind of shift around and move. And she's like, "We're going that way. You all go that way. We're good then. All right." And like starts to move, and like if you basically don't like look to follow, shifts back down into Urshel and starts to lope out.
I was looking to. There's a read the depths. I want to know who they are.
Sure. Roll the spell.
I have it as a rote.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I can pick it up. It's mind 3.
Chat is completely correct. Mages showing interest in you as a supernal creature is terror. Yes.
Especially if they start scrutinizing. You can feel it. It's achy.
Okay, so I need it instant. I need it at range. I don't really need much else. Reach. I'm not trying to change their memories. I just want to read their thoughts.
You get a lot of bang with very little reach on Read the Depths.
Mm-hmm.
Might just
I
want
only
some
need
extra
2.
potency.
I've got 2. Yeah. 4. It withstood by? Resolve.
But it's a potency spell, so you've got 4 base.
Mm-hmm. How many? 8?
No, you're good. I was just going over the reach in my head. 8, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14. With 11 successes. Yep. That's just Atratus today.
Ash absolutely cannot ever fail a spell.
I mean, she'll get 1s or she'll get 14. Or 11 in this case. Cool. So you basically lash out with this spell. Imagine you have done this, but no, we know you've done this before because you have it as a rope because you've been using it so much down in Peru. And you basically, you're targeting the Dalu woman, or had been Dalu, and you slip into her subconscious. It's not quite as invasive as like diving into Endoneros, but all of a sudden you find yourself kind of standing in this. It looks like a forest writ large, like redwood, well, actually, building-sized trees, deep grass that's like coming up to your waist, and stuff like that, and just memories and aspects of this woman kind of flitting about for a second here as while you're sitting in her head. And what kind of memories or ideas do you go kind of digging around for?
I'm trying to get, like, where did they come from? Where are they going?
Okay. Yeah, very quickly.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Thank you. Reaching out, just grabbing at memories that flit about, some aspects of personality that look like the right stuff, like what you're expecting to. And because, like I said, at this point, between the legacy and the stuff you've done with the legacy, this is kind of normal for you. And so the name that comes across is Chloe Cook. She thinks of herself as Chloe Cook, as obviously as a werewolf and hunter. But that's kind of the only vibe that you get off of her. There's no.
Can I get a pack?
Yeah, you recognize a couple other names. Braden Calderon, Evan Carney, and Brett Sawyer. As but that's her pack. And yeah, they think of themselves. Chloe thinks of herself as a hunter and a werewolf, but there's no sense of pack totem, which because I'm gauging how much Atratus has really studied werewolves. She does Rescue 1 and is comparing everything to them. There's no central totem. There's not the big family feel that Rescue 1 has. Rescue 1 isn't interrelated, but everybody knows everybody. Everybody's close with each other. And there are, some family lineages within the pack, but it's not some weird, backwoods interbred kind of thing. Thank you.
Does she have a relation to the moon?
Off of that personal vibe, not that you can tell.
Yeah, I was trying to get what sort of werewolf are they? Because I'm we got the Storm Lords. They do storm magic. We've met the Pure. They're assholes.
It met one type of Pure.
Yeah. Even before that, most werewolves fairly heavily identify with their aspect.
Oh, yeah. The Auspice, yes.
Auspice,
yeah. She does have an Auspice, but she doesn't think of it in a name that you've heard around Rescue 1. If you kind of prodding and kind of like you said, trying to figure out her personality, she doesn't put a name to it, but the half moon is just heavy in her mind.
Okay.
Makes sense why she was willing to talk to you then.
These wolves are weird.
She's yeah, they're werewolves.
No, they're weird.
Okay. Are we going to go chase one down and tag its ear and track it by GPS? What is your plan here?
I don't know. Should we just let them go? Should we tell the others?
This is your territory. This is your expertise. I've
literally never been here.
That's fine. When I see werewolves in the shadow, I leave.
Well, maybe you should talk to them sometimes.
I've chatted with Alicia and Logan in Rescue 1 a couple times, but that doesn't mean I'm friendly with every furball.
It went fine.
Be
yes.
the change you want to see in the world, Atratus.
you and I are still alive. We are here. We are whole. They have fucked off. Yes, I agree. But we got to talk about your priorities and self-preservation.
This is fine.
Awesome to hear somebody else say those words.
Again, if she had actually come at us with a knife, I would have just let the spell go and we would wake up.
Yes, but I didn't necessarily know that. That said, like,
Well,
Shanna
now you
has,
do. You're fine.
right.
Nothing
And
to worry
Shanna
about.
Shanna is moving from like panic Shanna to, oh my God, adrenaline high coming down off of it. But she's like, okay, so real talk. There are werewolves in the shadow in lower New York. Is this a thing you need to deal with?
Maybe? Like, that seems possibly.
I mean,
if they're just, like, not bothering us and passing through, I don't see how that's a mage problem. I'm worried that it might be a problem for our werewolf friends.
Right. We can hoof it, or we can get out of here and call them.
I mean, is it faster? Can't you just...
We still gotta walk. It's like a dozen blocks.
Yeah, I thought space moved differently here.
Nope.
Okay, then yeah, we'll drop the spell and call them.
It certainly doesn't get smaller.
Right. Because there are places in the shadow that don't correlate, but basically everything in the material plane in our world
is also
in
there.
And then there might be places where you come around a corner and you're going, oh, that's not my bodega. My bodega is way the hell over there. What is this? Right.
Like glades and hollows and folds and all kinds of crazy shit.
Mages call them places that are not.
Places that aren't.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys kind of snap back up and Shanna's like, oh, okay.
See, you're fine. Look, I'm not going to get you killed by werewolves. Trust me.
No.
It's fine.
To be fair, you don't necessarily know that.
No, this is just Atratus being a mage and saying, no, it's fine. I know what I'm doing.
No, literally, it's okay.
That really is like one of the Rookery mottos at this point.
Yep.
Everything turned out fine.
Okay.
I don't know why you're yelling.
But like Shanna kind of reaches down and like bear hug, lift a big leopard and goes, okay, next time we're taking you. All right. That said, that was enjoyable. That was fun. And you are correct. It was probably safer than if we had been here physically, because leaving
They
would
could
have been
have
like,
told us for real. Yeah.
right. And there would have been a like step process to get us back here. I will agree, but self-preservation. All right. Goddamn Moros.
Okay.
And during which you're
Just
like,
imagine if Songbird had been there.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to just like immediately call up
Logan.
Logan and tell him what I saw.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, Logan. Okay, so 4 werewolves traipsing through lower Manhattan in Urshel form. But were they doing anything? Oh, backtracking a little bit because you did ask. Chloe's like thought of where is she going wasn't so much a destination so much as a goal of find a place. Like they're searching for like a place to set up. I think in her mind it was like find a warm, cozy, quiet den.
Okay, it's like I think they're homeless.
Okay.
They don't have like. They're not like you all. They don't have like a totem.
Okay, that actually.
They don't have the titles you all have for your types, right? They don't have those.
Ghost wolves. They're ghost wolves.
That sounds cool.
It's kind of sad, actually. Imagine. Let me put it. How would I put this? Imagine being a mage, awakening, nobody being there to help you out, tell you what the fuck is going on, having no idea about exarchs or your concilium or anything, and just having powers suddenly and having to figure it out all on their lonesome.
Yeah, that's bad.
Okay, now add in the fact that like we have this whole pack thing and we have our family and and not having that. So they're just cruising.
Yeah, they just have the 4 of them and they're kind of lost.
Cool.
They knew what mages were. They were not very afraid of mages.
I mean, they're smart. You are a terrifying force to be reckoned with.
Oh, thanks, Boo.
Yeah, it's like only half sarcastic. Okay, I'm gonna call Alicia, and we're gonna. Which direction did you see them going? We're not gonna hurt them. We might educate them a little bit.
Yeah, I think they need help. They're going north. Is that where they're heading?
Pick a direction.
Yeah,
yeah.
The direction they were going.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. I'll let Jake know, and we'll go see if we can find him. Righto. And Titus kind of pokes out. How was Alicia? Did you ask about? Is Alicia okay?
She's fine. I didn't ask, but he did mention her, so I'm gonna say fine.
Okay.
Okay. Ghost wolves.
It's kind of like Steppenwolves.
Cool, I guess.
The lone wolf wandering the wilderness.
I mean, I would hope they can help them. There. I don't really know what they're gonna do.
like Shanna looks and has a shrug. It's like werewolves are gonna do what werewolves are gonna do. It's not our business. Which I think is probably an ongoing argument you may have had with her about like she's like vampires and geists and werewolves, and why are you getting involved? They're not our problem. They're not fucking with us. We don't fuck with them. It's simple. Why you gotta be friends with everybody? But she gets it because I mean, like you're a traditional. Yeah. Cool.
But Atratus was also the lady who wanted to get friendly with a bound.
Yep.
That's sort of her
which means the mage bound, not the geist bound. And then, of course, the geist bound, the mage bound was like, I mean, you guys can come serve me and give me your mana, and didn't ask a single riddle. Worst Sphinx ever.
Trash Sphinx.
Terrible Sphinx.
Yep.
Terrible Sphinx.
I was so disappointed.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was about to wrap up. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us as we continue our little subplots as Songbird has has grand plans.
Grand is the word.
Weird continues to make moves to elevate and ingratiate the Cabal with everybody important in the Concilium, one counselor at a time. We've already got one in our pocket to draw Miel. Now we'll just grab Moonkeeper and just work our way through the roster. I mean, we kind of got good connections with Factory. And then, of course,
I feel like I'm kind of friends with Hiza at this point. Mm-hmm. We haven't visited him in a while, but...
I mean, you probably have, just not on screen.
Just not on screen, yeah. We're friends. Cool.
And then, of course, friendly. Atratus deciding to, run off and just go hang out in the shadow. Again, in a safe and controlled form, but terrifying. So as always, thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. We love having you here. Chat is always fun to watch and laugh at. And if you would like to join us off the stream and, between YouTube comments and stuff like that, come by Discord. That is yeetinto.space. You just drop that into the URL and you will come here and hang out with us. And join the rest of the community, and everybody laughs and has a good time. And we have a seriously good community. I really do mean it, guys. We're very inclusive. So it is very cool to have you guys come and join us and do that kind of stuff. And I'm rambling a little bit, but we have Legend Lore coming up after us, so we're going to make this quick. As always, come by Patrons, which is staylucky.club, and come check out that kind of stuff. We will see you guys next week.
Stay lucky.